Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Steve Spence here with Fresh Calling. I want to talk today about 3 mistakes, common mistakes that every youth pastor makes. And trust me, I am 100% guilty of all 3 of these, if not a couple more. But I want to take a moment. It's not going to be a long video today, but just something just as a great reminder of 3 mistakes that every one of us make. And I tell you, these are very common, very common. And let's talk about the first one. The first one is the Lone Ranger syndrome. It is literally when you go it alone, where you find yourself on an island in ministry, where you find yourself doing all of the things. You're doing all the setup, you're doing all the cleanup, you're doing all the planning, you're doing everything. And for some, we take pride in that. We feel like that I'm the only one that can control it. I'm the only one that can make all the decisions. I'm the only one that's going to make this thing happen. And when you tend to find yourself in that Lone Ranger kind of role, you're missing out on some incredible joys in ministry. And it's a mistake. It's a mistake. We should never do ministry alone. Here's the second thing. The second thing that most youth pastors do, and the mistake they make, is they neglect the parent aspect of ministry. Y'all, we're working with 18 and under adolescents. Parents are the number one influence in their life. And if we as youth pastors neglect the parent perspective, then we're going to miss it. I mean, that's a mistake. Let's just be honest. We need to communicate well. We need to do what we can, whether that parent email or stopping in the hallway and talking with parents on a regular basis, or inviting them to be a part of your events, or inviting them to help plan some of the things that you're doing and getting their perspective. These are all ways that you can help foster that kind of relationship that you have with your parents in your ministry. And trust me, when you get on board with them and they get on board with you and your ministry, it will take off for sure. So Lone Ranger, neglect the parent perspective. And then the third one is that we would devalue relationships. I get it, y'all. We get really good at different aspects of ministry, like the programming side of things, where we find ourselves doing a lot more planning than we do in fostering relationships. It's a lot of times when we walk into the youth room, we're more worried about what's going to happen in that moment than the person that's standing right there in front of you. And so many times we devalue those relationships. We get trapped in our office and we don't get outside the office and go to coffee or go to athletic events, or even be invited by different families to be involved in some of the family events that you have, that they have scheduled throughout the year. And so when we get to that place where we are looking through the moments and looking for the planning of things instead of the faces that we're in front of, we're making a mistake there. And so 3 common mistakes. I would love to hear if you have any more mistakes. I'm sure I've made a bunch of others. Maybe there may be for a future blog, but I would love to hear from you. Comment below, or let's talk about some of the mistakes you've made. If you want to schedule a one-on-one with me, I'd love to have that connection with you. Just click on the link. All right. Bye, guys. See you later.